So if I had to show you these two pictures and asked you, which one do you find more attractive? And you pointed to one of them, I took them away and then showed you a picture, the one that you supposedly picked, and asked you, why do you find this more attractive? But what I actually did is I switched the pictures. So you chose picture A, but I actually gave you picture B and asked you, why did you say you found this one attractive? Because there was a famous experiment that was done with this. And they ask you, in all seriousness, why did you pick this one? Even though it's the one that you didn't pick. And the funny thing is, people answer with confidence and say, yeah, I picked this one because of this. They didn't catch the switch. So how many people you reckon actually caught the fact that they were switched? 13% of people. The other 87% took the face that they actually rejected and started talking about it. Her smile was nicer, something about her eyes. Answers that seem legitimate to explain why they would find this one more attractive. And the crazy thing is, most people didn't even hesitate. They just went straight into it. And it seems like people aren't actually lying about it. Because when you read some of what people actually said, I guess I don't know if they are fully lying or not, but they seem legitimate. And they're making up a reason for it, like, on the spot. And it feels like they kind of don't really know what they're doing, but they're just doing a task at hand. So by now, I hope you're questioning, but like, how long did people actually have to look at these pictures before making a choice? The researchers, they thought of that too. Some people got 2 seconds to decide. Some got 5. And others got as long as they wanted. And even with the last group, where they effectively had all the time in the world to make a decision, there was only about 25% of people that actually caught that the researcher had switched the pictures. So we can't say that, it was just a rash decision and you kind of forgot why you made the decision and you were under pressure kind of thing. People had time, but they just didn't notice the switch. And this is what I find very interesting. Because it's not just about faces, because maybe you can say, they kind of look similar. I didn't the distinguishing features of a mole I didn't pick that up. There was a different team of researchers, and they took these face results and they ran it with jam and tea. So in 2010, they then went to a supermarket, and then it gave people the choice to try this jam or that jam. Well, they actually tried both the jams and asked, which one do you prefer? And then they give you a spoonful of the one that you prefer and say, why do you prefer this one? And then they would explain why they preferred that one. But they switched it again. So if you say you preferred this one, they actually gave you this one and asked you why. And then you might be questioning, well, Bianca, maybe the jam flavors are kind of the same. How do you tell the difference between blueberry and blackberry? Maybe some people can, but most of the population might not. But no, the flavors were quite distinct. Cinnamon and apple flavor is nothing like bitter grapefruit. And they did ask people straight up afterwards, was it easy to distinguish between these two jams? And people said, yeah, it was very easy. It indicated that there was definitely a taste difference between the two jams. But people still missed the swap about a third of the time. And then they would explain in detail why they preferred the swapped one that they were given. And an important thing about this study is that people also had a little bit of an incentive to pick the right jam and actually care about it. They said, you know what, whatever one you prefer, you can take a bottle of this jam home for you for free. And the logic is, if you got something to gain in this exercise, you'd probably pay more attention, right? It actually made them worse. Because only half the group got the incentive to keep the jam. The other half was told nothing about keeping the jam. And the half that actually fared worse at this, that weren't able to pick up the swap, was the people with the incentive. So what did the people that actually ran the study say about the conclusions? Because they were a little bit careful about what they said. Let me explain. What they do say is that we, as humans, tend to assume that our choices and reasons we give for those choices are actually tightly connected. We think, I decided this, and this is why. But what they showed is you can break that connection completely. And most people won't notice that break. They will just keep producing confident reasons why. So initially when I thought about this, I thought, okay, maybe there's like two sides of the brain that does certain things. One makes a decision and one reasons around that decision. And I'm not a neuroscientist, so that was just a thought process that I thought, I guess. What they're saying here is that people feel like they're making an active choice in the moment. But sometimes that choice has been made upstream down there of that like feeling of making the choice. And what you're actually doing is convincing yourself after the fact that it was the right one. Now, I want to stretch this outside of a lab or a supermarket. Now, if you keep watching after this video ends, so less than a minute, and you don't have, well, let's hope that you have an ad blocker so you don't see some sort of ad. Like in 30 seconds, YouTube is going to autoplay the next video for you. There should be a video across my face. Well, it'll be a black screen with the video on the screen. And you don't have to click anything, and the video will automatically start playing. And if you carry on watching that video, ask yourself, why am I watching this video? Do I actually want to watch this video? Or am I going to do what everybody else in the study did and quietly agree to whatever was put in front of me?